Mystical African cities you won't believe existed. Imagine walking through a city of glowing stone, a city whose streets were paved before Europe even dreamed of them. A city where knowledge, gold, and divine power shaped human destiny. These ancient African cities didn't just exist, they thrived. And their stories will change everything you thought you knew. Welcome back, family. Today we journey deep into Africa's forgotten brilliance, far beyond the textbooks, far beyond the myths, into cities built with mastery, protected by mysteries, and remembered through the whispers of our ancestors. These were not villages, not camps, not temporary settlements. They were powerful urban centers, advanced, spiritual, wealthy, and astonishingly complex. Let the journey begin. Kumbi, the jewel of the Ghana Empire. Long before Paris had paved roads, long before London knew the meaning of streetlights, Kumbi stood as one of the wealthiest cities on earth. This 9th century metropolis held two distinct cities in one, a royal city of palaces, courts, and cavalry, and a bustling commercial city filled with merchants from across North Africa and the Sahel. Gold flowed through its markets like water. Caravans carrying salt, cloth, and knowledge stretched for miles. The kingdom was so rich that Arab writers claimed the king's dogs wore gold collars. Exaggeration? Maybe. But the reality was clear. Kumbi was a powerhouse. This was Africa's first great city-state of the Western Sahel. Benin City, the masterpiece of earth and bronze. When Portuguese explorers arrived in Benin in the 15th century, they were stunned. They described a city as large as Lisbon, with straight, wheat streets and a palace so immense it felt endless. Benin was no accident. It was planned, engineered, protected by the legendary Benin Walls, one of the largest man-made structures in world history, 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. And then there were the bronzes, the Benin bronzes, detailed, refined, masterfully cast using techniques that still puzzle metallurgy experts today. Benin City wasn't just powerful, it was artistic genius. A city where architecture, sculpture, and identity merged into pure greatness. Timbuktu, the city of 1 million manuscripts. Timbuktu is often spoken of like a myth, a fable, a mystery, but it was real, and it was extraordinary. By the 14th century, Timbuktu was a global center of learning, a city where scholars debated philosophy, mathematics, medicine, astronomy, and law. The Sankore University held tens of thousands of students. Private libraries stored over 1 million manuscripts, many still being rediscovered today. Here, knowledge was wealth. Books were worth more than gold, and intellectual power shaped the destiny of an empire. This was Africa's Oxford, except older, and far more advanced during its golden age. Great Zimbabwe. The stone empire of the South rise with me into the highlands of southeastern Africa, where a stone city once towered over the plains, a city without mortar, yet its walls still stand. Great Zimbabwe was the capital of a trading empire stretching from the African interior to the Swahili coast. Gold and ivory moved through its roots, reaching Arabia, India, and China. Its great enclosure, a massive stone structure, remains the largest ancient building in sub-Saharan Africa. Its design? Sophisticated, symbolic, aligned with power and lineage. For generations, outsiders refused to believe Africans built it, but the truth stood firm. These stones were African. These walls were African. This genius was African. Kilwa Kisiwani, the Swahili island of wealth off the coast of Tanzania, lies Kilwa Kisiwani, a city that once controlled the entire gold trade of East Africa. By the 13th century, Kilwa was rich, very rich. It had coral stone palaces, multi-story buildings, magnificent mosques, and a harbor filled with ships from Arabia, India, Persia, and China. The Husuni Kubwa Palace, with over 100 rooms, proved that African coastal cities were trading giants, connected, sophisticated, and global. Kilwa wasn't isolated. It was international Aksum, the empire that spoke to the world high in the Ethiopian highlands. A powerful city-state once ruled the Red Sea trade. Aksum, it minted its own coins, built towering stone obelisks carved with perfect precision, and developed a writing system, Gayas, still used today. Aksum was recognized alongside Rome, Persia, and China as one of the great empires of its time. Its capital wasn't just political, it was spiritual, architectural, and commercial. Trade, faith, empire, all rooted in Aksum's mighty cityscape. These cities were not myths, not legends, not fantasies. They were real, vibrant, powerful, and undeniably African. From the stone towers of Zimbabwe, to the bronze mastery of Benin, to the scholarly brilliance of Timbuktu, Africa's ancient cities shaped the world in ways that deserve our recognition and pride. Their stories remind us Africa was never behind. Africa was a leader, a creator, a beacon of human innovation, and their legacy still lives within us today. If you want more powerful African history, more truth, and more pride, subscribe, like, and join the family. Together, we reclaim the stories they tried to bury. More African greatness is coming. Stay tuned.